If you own an iPhone, most likely there's a Taptic Engine inside it. It's a piece of hardware that makes the iPhone feel unique in your hand when you use it. It's not a vibration motor though, and the technology, alongside the story behind it, is really interesting. So let's take a look at how this hardware component changed Apple's products forever and why they'll never come back to the old ways. First of all, what is a Taptic Engine? Well, it's not a word I'd say pretty much ever outside of this context. That's because it's a combination of two words, tap and haptic. Together, Taptic. It's a made-up word and Apple gave it the meaning we know now. Besides the terminology, it is a component designed by Apple that is supposed to provide tactile feedback to users to simulate actions. When you enable the flash on your iPhone's home screen and feel the satisfying tap, that's the Taptic Engine doing what it's supposed to do. We may not realize it, but it's been a while since this technology emerged. And perhaps surprisingly, it wasn't first seen as part of the iPhone, not even the Apple Watch. It dates back to 2015 when for the very first time, Apple has introduced it as a feature of the Retina MacBook. And now you're trying to figure out where exactly is this used, since you don't touch the screen and everything on a MacBook is mechanical. To save you time, it's activated when using trackpad. It was pretty cool. A MacBook for the very first time didn't have a real clicking trackpad and instead a capacitive one, and to fool you into thinking you're actually pressing something, the Taptic Engine inside the computer simulates the press. You feel you're clicking something and you're happy about it, although you didn't really click anything, just a stationary piece of glass. It's worth noting that this tag has kinda been here before. This haptic feedback type of tag has been fiddled with and pioneered for like 20 years already. Avi Chaplinsky is a person known to research this topic thoroughly. Then the work of Vincent Hayward and Margaret Minsky, another people that were interested in this concept and worked on it, has been translated by Apple for consumer products, something that is usable and makes sense in the real world. So although this wasn't entirely new, Apple gave it meaning and made it go mainstream for regular people. I find the reactions to this from the tech community or people in general kinda interesting, to be honest. A Wired article from 2015 literally calls it a magic trick. People thought of it as, quote, feeling the user interface. Others refer to it as, quote, bumpy pixels. In fact, that's the title of one article published around the same time, highlighting the nuances of the Taptic Engine when used with the MacBook to edit videos. As we know, it didn't stop there, and Apple has rolled it out to most of their consumer products. The year 2015 was the crucial year for the Taptic Engine because it's also the same year when the very first Apple Watch came to life. The Apple Watch, since the day one, has been equipped with a feature called Force Touch. A pressure-sensitive layer has been added to the tiny display of the Apple Watch to allow you to access different buttons and UI elements based on the pressure you apply. This, in and of itself, is pretty impressive, but to make you literally feel the difference between regular tap and Force Touch, your Apple Watch uses its Taptic Engine to, quote, tap you on the wrist. This is how it's been described, by the way. Since you wear the Apple Watch on your wrist, the Taptic Engine can tap you anytime. It's always in contact with your skin. So on the Apple Watch, it's not only used for clicks, but for notifications too. It's so precise that you can feel different patterns which are dedicated for different types of notifications. But back then, it was a pretty new technology and not everything went so smoothly. It happened multiple times that the engines inside the brand new Apple Watch were faulty, so people were returning their devices, and this also slowed down the rollout of the Apple Watch to the masses. Apple had basically two manufacturers that produced Taptic engines, AAC Technology Holdings in Shenzhen and also Nidec Corporation based in Japan. And because of this diversification, they were able to bounce back and get everything working. Apple again didn't stop there, probably because they wanted to roll out everything in the year of 2015 for some reason, and the iPhone from this year, the iPhone 6s, was no exception. Other than the new rose gold color and a new chip inside it, there was also a Taptic Engine inside the iPhone, which replaced an old-school vibration motor present in the previous iPhone 6. One of the reasons for bringing the Taptic Engine to iPhone was the brand new feature called 3D Touch, which ultimately didn't end well and is no longer present in our iPhones. I pondered over the 3D Touch, trying to figure out whether it was a gimmick or not in one of my videos on the channel, so I'll link the video to the end screen so you can check it out later after you watch this one. Anyways, since Apple believed so much in the 3D Touch, they wanted to make sure that user will really feel the difference between regular and 3D pressing. 3D Touch or Force Touch or Haptic Touch is one part software and one part hardware, so again, the Taptic Engine's role was to make you really feel it. And it did the job well. Apple thought it would give the iPhone a new dimension, but as we know, they ultimately ditched the 3D Touch altogether. Next year, the engine got another task to perform, and much more frequently than based on the 3D Touch. Well, iPhone 7 got launched the year after, and although the home button looked the same, it wasn't really the same. It literally was technically not even a button. It was just a circular piece of glass, but the Taptic Engine gave such a good impression of a real click that you barely spotted the difference. If you still happen to use an iPhone with capacitive home button, just try to turn the device off and then press the home button to feel the difference. To feel as if you're pressing your finger on a glass window or something. For me, it's really mind-blowing. Another change happened with the release of iPhone 11 that no longer featured 3D Touch, where the Taptic Engine was made 100% out of recycled materials. So this brought Apple closer to their environmental goals. Back when this got released, the expectations of what the functionality of Taptic Engine could morph into were huge. In a few years, people expected to feel some elaborate patterns when scrolling on the trackpad. We anticipated future where we feel indentations, holes, bumps, everything using the Taptic Engine and not just, quote, fake clicks. And it's been 8 years already, and this kind of future didn't really materialize. So what do we have now? Taptic Engine is still a huge part of our everyday lives, and the reason for it is that it works well and gets the job done. All Macbooks are now equipped with this new trackpad that uses haptic feedback to simulate clicks, so this has definitely proven to be a good use case for it. When it comes to iPhones, 3D Touch of course disappeared, but Taptic Engine had nothing to do with it. And the 3D Touch got replaced by Haptic Touch, which is just a long press accompanied by haptic feedback. Besides that, there are plenty of system haptics that you feel every single day and don't even realize now because everyone is already used to it. You can feel it when scrubbing through videos, rotating compass, editing photos, videos, scrolling, whatever you do, you can feel it almost everywhere now. And also, you have it in the settings so you can decide what it gives you the feedback and what it doesn't. Taptic Engine has been also open for all developers, meaning that any third-party app can access it and take advantage of it. And although we anticipated some extreme ways of how this could work, things like feeling the groove between the letters of the keyboard was expected, well, there are still so many places where you can feel haptics on a daily basis, and every single tap of the keyboard gives you the desired feedback. Or if you don't like it, you can turn it off completely. The next iPhone, the 15 Pro or 15 Ultra, is rumored to feature even 3 Taptic Engines. So apparently it's a good technology to have and we'll likely rely on it even more in the future. So that would be about it from me, everything about the Taptic Engine I can tell you, and thanks a lot for watching until the end. For more videos like these, make sure to subscribe to the Foxtecc TV YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for watching, see you guys later.